Here's some Ironjawz lists that I've been playing around with. The goal here is to try to figure it out, right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. But first, of course, thanks to all my patrons. You guys are the real MVPs. Okay, so here's the first list. So the first list is an oops, all Ardboyz list. Here's essentially what we're doing. We have 2 fully reinforced units of Ardboyz with an Ardboy boss and a minimum unit of Rekkas. Over here, in a second regiment, we are 4 regiments here, and we're actually going to take Weird Fist. This is going to be a Weird Fist list. I don't think Weird Fist is dead. I think Brutefist is better, but I think that there's still some wiggle room when it comes to, like, the actual... like, depending on the list that you're planning on taking. The idea behind this list is that we're going for a lot of primary objective control. We're going to go sit on objectives and make it really hard for our opponent to do anything else. We're going for scouting force here, right? We do have 2 minimum units of Ardboyz and a unit of Rekkas, so we should be able to get them out of our territory, but I still need more games and more reps before I can really decide what battle tactics I think are best. Another one that we're going for here is Restless Energy, and of course we're taking the manifestations of Gorkamorka and all that. Cool. Second regiment is a Weird Knob Shaman with the minimum unit of Ardboyz, and then a War Chanter with the minimum unit of Ardboyz. And then to rack it all up, we have a Zogrok Anvil Smasher and a Hack and Crew. So this is the list. If you wanted to, you could take this unit of Ardboyz and you could set it up to be 3 full reinforced units of Ardboyz. But you'll have a harder time with battle tactics. If you're going to do this, I don't think you can take Scouting Force. I think you have to take something different. But I mean, like, I think that there is play here. I think there's play with 3 reinforced units of Ardboyz. Another thing that you can do, there is, like I said, some wiggle room. So you could swap out Zogrok Anvil Smasher for a Mega Boss and then take Brute Fist with your double Mighty Destroyers. I think that's fine. You could also replace the Hack and Crew with a Tusk Boss and give it the trophy rack so that it can like B15 control. That does help with some of the battle tactics. I can't remember. Is it Restless Energy, where you want to take like the objectives away from your opponent in their territory? And what else was I gonna drop? I think it was, I can't remember now exactly. I think it was like you downgrade the Hack and Crew to just a Gouger, and then you trade out Zogrok for a War Chanter. And then I think it gives you enough points left over for another unit of Rekkas, but I can't remember exactly. But you could also take another War Chanter or another Weird Knob so that each one has a Wizard or a Priest, right, to go with it. So, if you wanted to play that style, but I do think that, I don't know, three reinforced units is scary. Oops, all Ardboyz is definitely an option. Yeah, obviously the Ardboy boss goes somewhere in between a couple of them, right, if possible, but yeah, lots of damage with Zogrok pumping out lots of mortals. There's also, if you you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes, but you can also take the Tusk boss instead of the Hacking Crew, and you can go 5 heroes, which means every single turn you're calling a Wa. So it's like you just call them your charge phase begins by saying I to call a Wa. It's just a matter of with whom, right? So I don't know. Oops, all Ardboyz is probably still the thing. It's still probably a pretty decent list. I'd say that this is a very beginner-friendly list. Like everything, you know, it's like I have heroes that buff, and I have Ardboyz, and they get the buffs, right? So pretty straightforward. Rekkas are good, right? They run in where you need them and give that +1 to hit bubble. And don't forget too that it's wholly within all of them, or any one of them, right? So the space is a lot bigger than you think, especially if you have 3 of them, or if you have a reinforced unit. Right? It's like all you have to do is be wholly within. I can't remember if you have to be wholly within a single one. Like you pick a model and they have to be wholly within, or if it's just wholly within the whole unit. I have a feeling it's just the whole unit. Let me know if you know the rule for this in the comments below, please. That'd be awesome. But yeah, a little bit of wiggle room here, right? But it's pretty good. Second list is a big pig list. Actually, should we see that? Yeah, I mean, like, let's just have a quick look at how this looks on the battlefield. Let's just do this battle tactic or this map here. Right. So if we just have a whole bunch of Ardboyz on a map like this, is this one where you have to control pairs of them? It doesn't matter. We're not that concerned about that right now. We're not going into super specifics. So it's like, here's a big old unit of Ardboyz. Oops. I lost my boss in there somewhere. There he is. Right. We're going to march forward and take that objective there. Actually, we're going to deploy over on this side instead. And then this unit of Ardboyz over here, we're going to stick him right here. Right? We're going to march onto this green objective. And then we'll take, like, maybe this unit of Ardboyz over here. The War Chanter, we probably kind of still want close to, like, this big brick. Same thing with the Weird Knob. We probably want to keep the Weird Knob close to the big brick. Like, we're really going to be buffing these guys. Same thing with Zogrock. Right? We're just going to buff the tar out of these guys. And maybe this other unit of Ardboyz over here. And we're going to try to, like, just march 2 big bricks through the middle and try to take the green and the blue. And we're going to take these 2 smaller non-reinforced units. We're going to stick them right here. Scouting force would be easy here to get outside of our territory, right? But we're going to just try to control the center of the board. This is a perfect map for us. The Rekkas, we'll stick them maybe right here. And they're just going to go where they need to go. And all they're trying to do is give that buff, right? Yeah, and then depending what our opponent does, we could stick our hacking crew on this flank or on this flank. Probably over here right now because we're just a little bit lighter over on this side, right? And then, yeah, I mean, in you go, right? Looks pretty decent to me, man. Right? Like, it's just a lot of boys. It's nothing special. It's nothing fancy. There's no tech involved in any of this, right? But it's just a lot of boys getting some, right? Just a lot of boys getting into the fight. Oh, jeez. He must have fallen through the map. Anyway, that's the list. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Second list is a Kragnos Big Pig list. It is 2 drops, so I think that you could still play for, like, a low drop list. I think you kind of either want to be, like, 2 drops or 5 drops. The days of trying to be as few as possible, I think, are done this season. I'm thinking that you either want to have the most or the least. And it being in between means that you weren't able to be either 2 or 5. But I think maybe the worst place to be right now is maybe like 3 drops, right? Because lists that can be 2 will be 2, lists that can be 4 will be 4. So if you're 2 drops and you go first, I think that alpha pinning is still very much a thing. And I think that Kragnos Big Pig is still a list that's worth thinking about and considering. So it's 2 drops, Kragnos with a Tusk Boss, Gouger, Hack and Crew, right? Second one is another Tusk Boss, and another Gouger. So total, it's 1, 2, 3 Gougers, 1 Hack and Crew, and 2 Tusk Bosses. You could, if you wanted to, throw in another Hack and Crew, but just remember that the unit, you can only use it once per turn in your hero phase. We're going to take, I mean, for artifacts here, we're probably going to take the Trophy Rack on a Tusk Boss, and the redeploy Artifact of Power or Heroic Trait, an Eye for to Fight, is still really good in my opinion. I don't see why I would take pretty much anything else. Let's see, Heroic Traits. I mean, if you wanted to, you could take Hulk and Brute, but I don't know. It's like you charge and then, actually in this list it would probably be okay because what you're going to do is you're going to go for that pig pile strategy where essentially you take Kragnos, a Tusk Boss, and 2 Gougers, and they run around together and just charge into things, strike last them, and then delete whatever's there. That's kind of the strategy. So you will be charging over and over and over again, so you could do Hulk and Brute. I didn't say anything for battle formation. It's kind of it's kind of open. Like you could take Grunt to Stampede if you wanted to for the extra mobility. You could take the Brawler because you have Kragnos, and so you're going to be adding attacks. That'll help with the damage. This list is going to struggle with like toes on objectives, right? Like it's going to be hard to be everywhere you want to be, and as soon as you start losing a couple of pigs, it's going to be tough, right? You can swap some things out here, so any one of these Gougers could just be 3 like Gruntas, right? They're 3 Gruntas is either 10 points cheaper or 10 points more expensive, depending on which Gruntas you want to take, either the soggy or the old ones. I'd probably go for the old ones. They are more wounds. Like a Gouger is what? How many wounds is a Gouger? Just have a quick check here. I can't remember exactly. Oh, I actually have a thing for that. Let's look. Health. So Gougers... Where are they? Gougers are 12 wounds on a 3-up save. So compared to Gruntas, Gruntas are way tankier. They're 15 wounds on a 3-up save, as opposed to 12 wounds on a 4-up save. So they have a lot more survivability. So you could go for some Tar Pit in this list instead, right? Like you could easily swap out a Gouger for a unit of Gruntas. That's probably even better, but I just like all big pigs. Like this is the kind of list that I take for like a beer and pretzel night, because I don't. Let's see. I have a Kragnos, I have a Tusk Boss, I have a Hack and Crew, and I do have 2 Gougers. So my list would have a couple of units of Gruntas in it, right? Just because that's what I have. I could easily get the rest of these. Just like with 3D printing and stuff, like it's not hard to get. And then you can also throw in a Gordrak, a Tusk Boss, and a unit of Rekkas. I think is exactly is almost a Gordrak. I think it's 350, and 360 is your Gordrak. So you could also go for a Gordrak and just get that big +1 to hit on the Wah, which is good. But I think the Rekkas are just more value for that function, right? Like just getting that +1 to hit. I think the Rekkas are going to do a better job. Just like, you know, they're so much cheaper, right? But yeah, like I think that going all big pigs is definitely something that you can do. I just think that you need Kragnos. I think that you need to go for the pig pile, right? So what is the pig pile? I'll just, 6 big pigs. It's so much monster. Okay, so if I was going to deploy for something like this, I might put Kragnos just towing onto the objective. Actually, I'd probably put him maybe off to the side a little bit. Nah, he's got to go in a pretty central location. We're going to put a Gouger in front of him. We're going to put a Tusk Boss beside him. And we're going to put another Gouger up here with him too. And the way that we're going to we're going to go first, right? And so we're going to move this Gouger. He's going to go up 10 inches. This Gouger is going to go up 10 inches. This guy's going to go up 10 inches. Kragnos is going to go up 10 inches. And then whatever our opponent... I mean, we probably actually don't want to go first. Right? Because we're not going to be able to charge in. But if our opponent moves out and touches circles, we're going to do things like this. Where we try to get everything onto that circle. While the Hack and Crew goes over here onto the side. And tries to like do more of his own thing. Where he's going to try to flank around the back. And then we have another Tusk Boss and a Gouger. Which can, you know... kind of move up the center over here somewhere. But the idea is that we're moving these pigs around in like a group, and we're going to just charge onto things and delete whatever we come into contact with, because let's be real, Kragnos and 3 big pigs of any variety are going to be enough to just to smash whatever's in front of you. And the Tusk Boss is giving up to 2. Is it just 2 units of Gougers? I can't remember if it's 2 or if it's 3. Gougers. Oh no, I want Tusk Boss. Can't remember if it's 2 or if it's 3. Yeah, 3 friendly Maw Grunta units. But I think he counts... Does he count for himself? Yeah, he is a Maw Grunta. Yeah, adding 1 momentum, right? Yeah, pick up to 3 friendly Maw Grunta units wholly within range. Wholly within 12. Charge this turn to the target, add 1 momentum, so you can like throw more momentum onto it. But yeah, the big good old pig pile list. But yeah, to be honest, probably replacing. Oh yeah, and the Gougers are gonna, or sorry, the Rekkas are gonna just go where they need to go. Probably support this side over here. So we're just kind of ending up with like 2 flanks. A slow side and a fast side with Kragnos. Yep, lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. And then last but not least, this is the list that I would run right now. If I was going to put Ironjawz on the table, this is the list that I would run. I think that it's well balanced. Oh, sorry, we should talk about the tactics. So, for the Kragnos Big Pig list, I think you can actually take Intercept and Recover. If you go second, you just don't double them unless it's a killing blow. Because if you double, then you lose one of your 5 points. But if this list if things are playing the way that you want it to, you're just kind of stomping around the battlefield and pulling your opponent apart and denying them any kind of space on the battlefield, right? And then the second one, I was going to take Master of the Paths, because again, I can just like kill heroes, right? So, yeah, it's just going to be like an oppressive, stompy list if things are going your way. It's definitely going to be fun, if nothing else. Okay, so this list is a Brutefist list. It's 3 drops, which is not ideal. There's probably something that we can do about that. One thing that we could do about that... Actually, let me just check this list here. Yeah, War Chanter. Yeah, I would probably change that for sure. So, we're going to throw in a Tusk Boss instead of the Scouger. It's going to be a 4-drop list. Because we have the points. Or no, do we have the points? No, we don't have the points. That's why it's a Gouger. We're short. Oh, we're short here too. Yeah, I see. Yeah, alright. It's kind of suboptimal to be 3 drops, I think. But I don't know what I would change in this list. Because I like it. I like what this list is. I feel like it's nice and balanced. It's mean. It's got 2 reinforced units of Brutes. It's got 2 minimum units of Ardboyz and a Shaman. These Ardboyz are going to act like buffers and screens against the Brutes that are going to go in and really hurt something. Then we have, of course, a reinforced unit of Rekkas. When Wreckers are reinforced, they actually deal quite a bit of damage, especially against infantry. This math here is incorrect because it should be giving itself +1 to hit. But the Soggy Rekkas... Oops. Scourge of Gaian, Weird Brute Rekkas. The anti-infantry with 2 rend and the Brutes being anti-infantry too. Like, there's so much anti-infantry in this list. It's scary. I also think that the War Chanter has been underrated. I think that the Gork Aurora giving the War Chanter, like, potentially 2 extra chanting points a turn. If you can +1 damage on Brutes, like, they're definitely going to chew through whatever is in front of them. And then the Ardboyz here are just going to be defensive, and they're just going to, like, survive, right? You could split up the Rekkas into 2 different groups. But if you split them up into 2 different groups, I feel like they're playing a different role. If you split them up into 2 different groups, then they're sort of like throwaway, I give +1 to hit, right? Like, I go in with the Brutes, or I go in with the Ardboyz, probably with the Brutes, right? And they just sort of go in, get into combat, and die. But if you put them together, the way that they play is they are a threat themselves. 6 Rekkas into a unit of infantry. 6 Rekkas into a unit of infantry are going to deal like 10 plus damage against 4-up saves. So, like, again, like, they can do work. They're also in a really good position to get buffs. If you can give them +1 damage, or if you can give them, like, crit 2 hits, because they throw a lot of dice, right? If every single there's 6 of them, right? And they throw 6 dice each. So if you can do crit 2 hits, like, it's a lot of extra attacks that you're getting. And then on the Wa turns, right? Like, throwing any kind of buffs into Rekkas is actually kind of scary against infantry. right? It's like, oh, they're 2 rend and 2 damage, right? They're 2 rend and they're 2 damage against infantry, and they pick themselves, right? Because pick a friendly Ironjawz unit wholly within 12 of this unit to be the target. I think they can just pick themselves. So they could be 7 attacks, 3s and 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage with the War Chanter, right? Like they can be pretty scary just by themselves, or they can act as a throwaway piece to help buff brutes. But to be honest, I don't know if brutes need it. On a map like this, brutes are going to go this. Brutes are going to march up the map this side. These brutes are going to march up the map this side. We can take scouting force here. These Ardboyz are going to take this flank, while these Ardboyz are going to take this flank. Right? We're going to take our Gouger, and he's going to kind of sit in reserve, maybe. He's going to spend maybe a turn just running around. We're going to put a Mega Boss, I don't know, in a safe position in the back. Weird Knob Shaman can go buff one side. The War Chanter can buff the other side. And then if we're going to have throwaway units of Rekkas, we can do something like this with them. Right? Just sort of put them in the middle, so that they can just charge in when they need to give that extra damage buff. Or if they're going to be a unit all by themselves, we can take them and put them in their own position. Why can't I grab these guys? Right? Maybe they run in, but I really like this list for myself personally. Like, I wish that I could move it around a little bit so that I could change this Gouger into a Tusk Boss. But as it stands right now, and we're just taking Eye for the fight and probably Trophy Rack on something. It doesn't really matter. Trophy Rack could go on the Mega Boss. Trophy Rack could go on a War Chanter. It doesn't really matter. But right now, this list is sitting at exactly 2,000 points. Nope, it's got 20 points to spare. It's 1980. This list right now. So maybe the Gouger might actually be better as 3 little pigs and just act as a little bit of a tar pit. You know, that's probably actually better if instead it's just 3 little pigs. $10 more points. And probably just the regular ones too, not even the Scourge guy ran. Right, and then they can go off on a flank somewhere. Then they become scouts, and they're tar pits, right? So maybe we'll stick them like up here, and these Ardboyz can sort of go behind. Because yeah, like as we move up, like we're gonna run maybe, right? And then the Ardboyz just sort of go up and act as screens for us, right? Actually, these Ardboyz would probably be better suited even just being right here. These guys are going to just run up, and then these brutes are going to just like march up the battlefield, and then these Rekkas are going to go wherever we happen to need them. All right, our Mega Boss is in a centralized place that's pretty safe, and then he'll go in with the brutes if needed. But yeah, we're just going to cast buffs on whatever needs buffs, right? And just try to take the map like this. Really, I think this is a little bit of a higher skill list. Right, but I like it. I like lists that are relatively symmetrical, and there's not, you know, it's like 4 units of infantry. It's good. I like this list, but I kind of like them all. I have the summer off now, so I'm playing tons of games. In fact, I'm gonna go do that right now. That's the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go play a game of Age of Sigmar. So, wish me luck. Make sure you join the Discord. Lots of great conversation happening. Comment down below which list do you think. What tactics do you think would go best for these lists? That's still something that I'm kind of struggling with. I think everyone is sort of in a position now where I think the consensus is we're liking the fact that these tactics exist, the way that they exist, but we kind of wish that there was like 10 more of them because we're feeling kind of pigeonholed. So we're going to have to wait about a year because right now it's controlling the primary feels like the way to do it. So, and the tactics are like try to get 4 out of 6, and then you'll be fine. So let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. Wow.